Dear students, today we shall discuss about the maxima and minima of the given functions. Now, suppose a function is increasing from minus infinity, left side we shall put minus infinity to up to a, function goes on increasing, and again from a to between a and b it is gradually decreasing, again from b to up to infinity it is gradually increasing. Now, in this interval from minus infinity to a it is increasing, between a and b it is decreasing, after b up to infinity it is increasing. Then how to define an increasing function? Now, if x1 greater than x2 implies f of x1 greater than f of x2, that means if x increases fx also must increase, then we say that the function is increasing in that interval. Similarly, if it is, for example, you say this one, f of x is x square plus 2x plus 1, for example. Now, what is f of 1? 1 plus 2 plus 3, sorry, 1 plus 2 plus 1, that is 4. What is f of 2? 4 plus 4 plus 1, that is 9. So, as if x increases from 1 to 2, fx is increasing from 4 to 9. Like that, if you go on increasing x value, fx value will go on increase in certain interval. Now, then we say that in that interval this is increasing function. If it is in the reverse direction, suppose if x1 greater than x2 implies f of x1 less than f of x2. That means if you increase the value of x, fx value will decrease. For example, fx is equal to 1 by x. What is f of 1? 1. F of 2? 1 by 2, that is 0. Equal to 0.5. F of 3? 1 by 3, that is 0.333 approximately. So, as increasing x value, but fx value is gradually decreasing. So, such a function is called decreasing function. Now, you see, for example, the derivative of this function is 2x plus 2. You will get positive values in that interval. Here, the derivative of fx, that is 1 by x, is minus 1 by x square. So, if a function is increasing in an interval, the derivative, first derivative is positive in that interval, and if it is a decreasing function in that interval, the first derivative is negative. Now, if fx is increasing, suppose in the interval a comma b, for example, not in that diagram, then f dash x is positive in a comma b, like that. Similarly, if fx is a decreasing function in a comma b, for example, it is a general interval, then f dash x is negative in that interval in a comma b, like that. So, if x increases, fx also increases, then we say that it is an increasing function. If they are in the reverse direction, if you increase x, if fx will decrease, then we say that it is a decreasing function. So, if fx is an increasing function in a certain interval, then its first derivative, that is f dash x, is positive in that interval, and if it is a decreasing function, then its first derivative is negative in that interval. See here, see this diagram. Suppose the function is increasing from minus infinity to a, between a and b it is decreasing, again from b to infinity it is increasing. Now, from minus infinity to a, first derivative must be positive. Just now I told you, if a function is increasing in an interval, its derivative must be positive. Now, between a and b the function is decreasing. So, in that interval f dash x is negative, and afterwards, after b, it is again increasing. So, f dash x is positive in that interval. Now, just before a, the first derivative is positive, just after b, first derivative is negative. So, because f dash x is also a continuous function, it will gradually changes its sign not immediately. That means it gradually it will decrease, and again it gets negative sign from here onwards. Just before this point it is positive, just before that point it is negative. So when a function is going to change the sign, then it should be 0 at one place. That is possible only at the relative maximum. We call it as relative maximum or local maximum. And similarly in this, so first derivative must be 0 at this point. Similarly at this point also, f dash x is changing its sign from negative to positive. So it should be 0 at one place. So that is possible only at this point. So for f dash x is 0 at relative minimum also, or at local minimum. So first derivative is 0. So at both the points, at relative maximum and relative minimum, the first derivative is 0. So how to know whether the function is having relative maximum or relative minimum where f dash x is 0? Now let us consider f dash x now, not fx. Just before this point f dash x is positive, and again at this point it is 0, and after that it is negative, means positive, 0 and negative. Is it decreasing or increasing? Positive, 0 and negative, means f dash x is decreasing before a and after a also. So it is a decreasing function. So what about its derivative, f double dash x? It should be negative. When a function is decreasing, its derivative should be negative. So f double dash x should be negative at the relative maximum. And similarly here, f dash x is negative on this side. At this point it is 0, at this point it is positive. Means negative, 0, positive. Means it is gradually increasing. F dash x, not fx. So it is an increasing function just before b and just after b. So at b also it is decreasing function. So its derivative, that is f double dash x, should be positive at this point. So depending upon the sign of f double dash x, we can confirm whether there is a relative maximum or relative minimum. If f double dash x is negative, there is relative maximum at that point. If the second derivative is positive, there is relative minimum at this point. Now if f dash x is equal to 0 at relative maximum and relative minimum, and second derivative f double dash x is negative at relative maximum and f double dash x is positive at relative minimum. Here f dash x is 0 at x is equal to a and x is equal to b. Those two values are called stationary values or critical values for that function, where we have got a relative maximum or relative minimum. Here f dash x is equal to 0 at a and b. So a and b are called stationary values or critical values. Now see this question. Here we have to find out two numbers, positive integers. The sum of those two numbers is 16 and sum of the squares is minimum. We have to find out x and y such that x square plus y square is minimum. Now let us take the two numbers as x and y. Let x and y be the two positive integers. So given x plus y is 16, that implies y is equal to 16 minus x. how to find out x and y? We have to find out x and y such that sum of the squares is least, minimum. So let us take s is equal to, let s is equal to x square plus y square. We have to find out x and y such that s is least. But we have to substitute the value of y. It should be converted to single variable, not two variables. So in place of y square, you can write 16 minus x whole square. X square plus 16 minus x whole square. If you expand it, x square plus 256 minus 32x plus x square, that is 2x square minus 32x plus 256. This is sum of the squares. Now at the relative maximum and minimum, the first derivative should be 0. So you take first derivative as well as second derivative. First ds by dx. Derivative of 2x square is 4x. 32x derivative is minus 32. And second derivative, d square s by dx square, that is 4 and 0, that is 4, that is greater than 0, positive. If the second derivative is positive, we know that only least value is possible. When it is possible, to get that stationary value, we have to equate ds by dx value to 0. Let us equate. Let ds by dx is equal to 0. That means 4x minus 32 is equal to 0. 4x minus 32 is equal to 0. That implies 4x is equal to 32, x is equal to 32 by 4 equal to 8. What about y? X is 8, but x plus y is 16. Y is equal to 16 minus x. 16 minus x, that is 16 minus 8 equal to 8. So s is least, therefore s is least when x is equal to 8 and y is equal to 8. Those two numbers must be equal numbers, then only the sum of the squares is least. Now see this question. Here x and y are two positive integers and it is given that x plus y is 60. We have to find out x and y such that x into y cube is least or minimum. Now let us take, it is given x plus y is equal to 60. So I have to convert y into the terms of x. So y is equal to 60 minus x. Let us take that product, this one, x into y cube as p. Let p is equal to x into y cube. So what is the value of y cube? 60 minus x whole cube. So p is equal to x into y cube means 60 minus x whole cube. Now let us find out the first derivative of p, dp by dx. Because it is a product, we have to use product rule. First x into, or you v into derivative of x, 60 minus x whole cube into d by dx of x plus x into d by dx of 60 minus x whole cube. So 60 minus x whole cube into d by dx of x is 1 plus x into, first with respect to power, chain rule we have to use. This is 3 into 60 minus x whole square into derivative of 60 minus x also have to write. 60 minus x derivative, 60 derivative is 0 and x derivative is 1. 0 minus 1, that is minus 1. So what is the common term in both? 60 minus x whole square is common. So that is 60 minus x whole square into, here only 60 minus x is there, minus 3x is there. So that is 60 minus x whole square into 60 minus 4x. Or else you can take 4 common in this, that is 4 into 60 minus x whole square into 15 minus x. This is first derivative. Let us find out the second derivative also. d square p by dx square equal to, again u into v method, 4 into 4 is common, you can keep it like this, 60 minus x whole square into d by dx of 15 minus x plus 15 minus x into 60 minus, sorry, d by dx of 60 minus x whole square. This is equal to 4 into 60 minus x whole square into derivative of 15 0, x derivative is minus 1. So, it is minus 1 plus 15 minus x into, now by using chain rule, the derivative of this one is 2 into 60 minus x into derivative of 16 minus x is minus 1. Again you take 60 minus x common, 4 into 60 minus x common, minus 1, minus of 60 minus x, because there is minus 1 here. Here also there is minus 1, that is minus of 2 into 15 minus x. You can keep it like this, or you can take minus also common, but anyhow let us leave it like that. Now let us take the first derivative is equal to 0 to get the stationary values, where the function is having either minimum or maximum. So dp by dx, this is 2, dp by dx is equal to 0 implies, what is dp by dx? This value, 4 into 60 minus x whole square into 15 minus x, 15 minus x, that is equal to, that imply is equal to 0, that implies x is equal to 60 or 15, two possibilities. If this bracket is 0, x is 60, if the second bracket is 0, x is 15. So which value you have to take? Suppose if x is 60, what about y? 60 minus 60 0, but no number should be 0 because they are both are positive integers. So you cannot take 60. So you can take only 15. If x is 60, then y is equal to 0. So not possible, because since x comma y belongs to n, there should be positive integers. So that implies x is equal to 15. Now what about y? Now when x is equal to 15, p is maximum or minimum, we have to verify. Substitute x is equal to 15 in the second derivative, this one. If x is equal to 15, d square p by dx square is equal to 4 into 60 minus 15 is 45, and this one 60 minus 15, 45 minus 45 minus 2 into 15 minus 15, that is 0. So that is negative. Sorry, here there is a correction. This is maximum, not minimum. X into y cube is maximum because the second derivative is negative. Minus 45 into this positive number, that is negative. So only maximum value is possible, not minimum value, because second derivative is negative. Therefore, p is maximum. Now, then what about y? That implies y is equal to 60 minus x, that is 60 minus 15 equal to 45. Maximum when x is equal to 15 and y is equal to 45. So that is the value of x into y cube is the maximum if you take x is equal to 15 and y is equal to 45. Now see the question here. Find the maximum area of the rectangle that can be formed with fixed perimeter 20. perimeter is fixed. So I have to find out the length and breadth so that the area of the rectangle is maximum, but perimeter should be 20 only. Now let us take x is the length and y is the breadth of the, and a is the area of the rectangle. Let x be the length, y be the breadth, and capital A be the area of the rectangle. Perimeter is given as 20 units. So perimeter is 2 into length plus breadth. Perimeter is equal to 20. This is given. That implies 2 into x plus y is equal to 20. Perimeter is 2 into length plus breadth. So you can cancel 2 on both sides, then you will get x plus y is equal to 10 ohm. Convert y to the terms of x, that implies y is equal to 10 minus x. Let us take the area as A, as it already mentioned. Now A is equal to formula, area of the rectangle is length into breadth, x into y. But we have to write the value of y into the terms of x so that the function is always in one single variable. That is equal to x into 10 minus x equal to 10x minus x square. Now what is dA by dx? First derivative. 10 x derivative is 10, x square derivative 2x. So 10 minus 2x. And its second derivative, d square a by dx square is 10 derivative is 0, 2x derivative 2. So it is minus 2, this is negative. So only maximum value is possible for this, not minimum value, because second derivative is definitely directly negative. Now to get the values of x, we must find out stationary values. For that purpose, we must take first derivative is equal to 0. dA by dx equal to 0 implies 10 minus 2x is equal to 0. That implies 2x is equal to 10. That implies x is equal to 5. What about y? Y is equal to 10 minus x is equal to 10 minus 5. So equal to 5. So we must take x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 5. That means the rectangle should be a square, then only the area is maximum. Therefore, the area is maximum when x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 5. Now let us find out the maximum area also. A maximum equal to x into y. Substitute the values of x and y. What is x? 5. Y is also 5. So 5 into 5 equal to 25 square units is the maximum area you will get for that rectangle. But that rectangle must be a square. Now say this question. Here a cylinder is inscribed in a sphere. Sphere radius is given as small r, that we cannot change. So that is a constant. Now we have to inscribe a cylinder in that sphere so that the curved surface area of that cylinder must be maximum. How to find out? And then we have to show that the height of the cylinder, that h, which is taken as h, equal to root 2 times the radius of the sphere, that is root 2 times r. Now this is the diagram. This AB is equal to capital R is the radius of the cylinder, whereas OA is equal to small r, that is radius of the sphere, that is constant. Let us take the height of the cylinder as BC is equal to h. So this O is the center of the sphere. So OB is equal to OC, both are equal to h by 2. Now in triangle OAB, first of all I have to write, let S be the curved surface area of the cylinder. Let O be the center of the sphere. Center of the sphere. Let AB is equal to big R is equal to radius of cylinder, radius of the base actually, radius of the base of cylinder, and BC is equal to H is equal to height of the cylinder. That implies OB is equal to OC. Both are equal to H by 2. Now OAB is a right angle triangle. So we can apply Pythagoras theorem for that. In right triangle OAB, AB square plus OB square is OA square. AB square plus OB square is equal to OA square. From that what you will get, OAB square is big R square and OB square is H by 2 whole square is equal to OA square means small r square. Now we have to convert, because we have to find out the height ultimately. So convert this big R also to the terms of height only. So R square is equal to R square minus H by 2 whole square, that is H square by 4. So this is R square value. If you want to find out R, then square root you have to take. So big R is equal to square root of R square minus H square by 4. Keep it like this. Now what is the formula for curved surface area of the cylinder? This is base perimeter into height, that is 2 pi r h. S is, because already we indicated the surface area, curved surface area is S. So S is equal to 2 pi r h. But this radius is capital R, not small r. Small r is the radius of the given circle, 2 pi r h. This is 2 pi into r value, this you have to take root of r square minus h square by 2 I will write, because square root of 4 is 2 into h. So they can cancel this one. So S is equal to pi into square root of r square minus h square into h. Now we have to find out the derivative of S with respect to h. Here h is a variable, because you have to change the height. So ds by dh is equal to, pi is a constant, you can keep it outside. First you take the derivative of h, that is root of r square minus h square into derivative of h is 1 plus h into derivative of r square minus h square under root. Root of some function is there, 1 by 2 root, that function you have to write 1 by 2 root r square minus h square into derivative of r square minus h square. R square is constant because that is the radius of the sphere, only h square is the variable. So in 0 minus 2h, that is minus 2h. 2 is again cancelled here. If you take LCM, pi into root of r square minus h square into root of r square minus h square, r square minus h square minus h square plus h into minus h square by root of r square minus h square. Here 2 times h square. So that is pi into r square minus 2h square by root of r square minus h square. Now let us take the first derivative is equal to 0 first to get the stationary values. ds by dh is equal to 0 implies only numerator, pi is not 0, so only numerator must be 0 if a fraction is 0, implies r square minus 2h square is equal to 0. That implies r square is equal to 2h square. That implies r is equal to root 2 into h. Now h is equal to so here r square minus 2h square is equal to 0. Now, some corrections were observed in that procedure. Again, let us restart the problem. Please excuse me. Now, a cylinder is inscribed in a sphere. Sphere radius is given as r, small r, and let us take O is the center of the sphere. Let O be the center of the sphere. Let AB is equal to big R be the radius of the cylinder. With the radius of the cylinder, and BC is equal to H be the height of the cylinder. Now, because O is the center of that height, OB is equal to OC is equal to H by 2. That implies OB is equal to OC is equal to H by 2. Now, OA will become the radius of the sphere and OA is equal to small r. This is given. Now, let us take this right angle triangle OAB. In right triangle OAB, AB square plus OB square is equal to OA square. AB square plus OB square is equal to OA square. That implies R square, AB square is R square plus OB square is H by 2 whole square means H square by 4 is equal to OA square, that is small r square. Now let us write the value of, or else you take LCM first, 4r square plus H square by 4 is equal to r square. Take cross multiplication, 4r square plus H square is equal to 4 small r square. So from this 4r square value, 4r square minus H square. Now you keep it like this. Now let us take that S. Let S is equal to curved surface area CSA of cylinder. Curved surface area of the cylinder, that is 2 pi RH. 2 pi or H. H is height of the cylinder. Now S is equal to S square we shall find out. That is 4 pi square R square H square. Square all the three. Now 4 in place of 4R square you can write this one. So pi square you write outside. 4 into R square is there. For that you can write 4R square minus H square. 4 R square minus H square into H square. So this is pi square into 4R square H square minus H to the power of 4. H to the power of 4. Now let us find out the derivative. D by dH of S square. D by dH of S square. If S is maximum, S square is also maximum. If S is minimum, S square is also minimum. So let us doing all the operations on S square. So that is equal to pi square into derivative of 4r square h square. 4r square is constant, h square derivative is 2h. That is 8 pi r h. H power 4 derivative is minus 4h cube. So what is the common term in these two? 4h is common. 4 pi square h into 2 pi r minus h square. So this is 4r square h square derivative, so you won't get pi inside. 4r square into 2h only. That is 8r square into h. 4r square is constant, h square derivative is 2h into 4r square, 8r square h into, so what is the common term? 4h is common into 4h pi square into, you won't get this one, 2r square minus h square. Now this is first derivative. What is second derivative? D square by dh square, or else without finding out the second derivative, you can find out the value like this. You take first d by dh of s square is equal to 0. Let d by dh of s square is equal to 0. From that, what you will get? 4 is not 0, h is not 0, h is the height of the cylinder, it cannot be 0, pi square is not 0, implies only 2r square minus h square is equal to 0. That is, h is equal to root 2 into r. Now, when h is equal to root 2 r, that s may be maximum or may be minimum. But how to find out that value, whether it is maximum or minimum? I will do it on this side. Suppose if h less than root 2r, h less than root 2r, then 2r square, h square is less than 2r square, h square is then h square less than 2r square. If h square less than 2r square, this is positive because 2r square is more than h square. So that is positive, implies d by dh of s square is positive. In the other case, if h square greater than 2r square, if this is greater than this one, this will become negative. D by dh of s square is negative. That means before h is equal to root 2r, first derivative of s square is positive, means s square is increasing. Now if you draw the graph for that, s square, this is h is equal to root 2r. After that the surface area is decreasing. When h less than 2r square, first derivative is positive, means it is increasing before root 2r. And after root 2r, when h square greater than 2r square, that means h is equal to root 2r, first derivative is negative. If a first derivative is negative, the function is decreasing. That means the surface area is decreasing. So at that place we have got maximum value. So therefore s is maximum. S is maximum when h is equal to root 2 times the radius of the sphere. That's all. Now say this question. There is a rectangular sheet whose measurements are 30 centimeters by 80 centimeters. So this total length is 80 centimeters and this breadth is 30 centimeters. Now 4 equal squares are removed from the 4 corners. So then this is the remaining sheet. This is the remaining sheet, and up you fold this like this and this will be like this, then you will get an open box if you fold all the things to inside. Then what should be the value of x, that is the side of the square that is removed from the four corners, so that the volume of the box so formed is maximum. Now let us, then this is the base of that box, open box. The length of that box is 80 minus 2x, breadth of the box is 30 minus 2x, and the x will become the height for that box. Now, after removing, or you write let V be the volume of the box. Measurements of box. Or length is 80 minus 2x by 30 minus 2x, this is breadth, into height is x, centimeters. Those are the measurements, length, breadth and height. Then what is the volume? Length into breadth into height. So V is equal to 80 minus 2x, 80 minus 2x into 30 minus 2x into x. Let us multiply these two brackets. 80 into 30, 2400. 80 into 2x minus 160x minus 60x plus 4x square into x. I think this is 2400 minus 160 minus 60, that is minus 220x plus 4x square into x. I think 4 is common in all the three terms. You take 4 common, 655x plus x square into x. Multiply all the three terms with x, that is 4 into 600x minus 55x square plus x cube. This is the value of V in terms of x. Let us find out the first derivative. dV by dx. 4 is constant, that you can keep it outside. 600x means derivative is 600 minus 55x square derivative. X square derivative is 2x into 55 minus 110x. And x cube derivative is 3x square plus 3x square. And next derivative, second derivative. 4 into 600 derivative is 0 minus 110, x derivative is 1 plus 6x. That means 4 into 6x minus 110. Keep it like that. Now to get the stationary values, we have to take the first derivative is equal to 0. That means dV by dx must be 0. dV by dx is equal to 0 implies 3x square, 4 is not 0, so bracket must be 0. 3x square minus 110x plus 600 is equal to 0. 3 into 600, 1800. So 90 and 20 you can use. That implies 3x square minus 90x minus 20x plus 600 is equal to 0. 90 into 20, 1800 x square. That is, take 3x common, x minus 30. Here you take minus 20 common, x minus 30 is equal to 0. That implies 3x minus 20 into x minus 30 is equal to 0. So 3x minus 20 is equal to 0. That implies 3x minus 20 is equal to 0 or x minus 30 is equal to 0. That implies x is equal to 20 by 3 or 30. But can we take 30? If you take 30, this length is 30 minus 2x, 30 minus 60, so negative, it will become negative. So you cannot take 30. A box cannot be formed. So for x is equal to 30, box cannot be formed. So x must be 20 by 3 only. X is equal to 20 by 3 centimeters. Then what is the second derivative when x is 20 by 3? d square v by dx square is equal to 4 into 6x minus 110. 6x, 3x is 20. So 6x means 40. 3x is equal to 20. So 6x is 40. 6 into 20 by 3 minus 110. That is negative. You will get a negative value. So v is maximum when x is equal to 20 by 3 centimeters. Therefore, v is maximum when x is equal to 20 by 3 centimeters. Say this question. A window is in the shape of a rectangle surmounted by a semicircle, and the perimeter of this window is given as 20 feet. Then find the maximum area of the window. Now let us take r is the radius of the semicircle. So this will become 2r. So this will become pi r, but this part won't be there in the window. So but this is also equal to 2r because this is 2r. So what is the perimeter of the window? X plus 2r plus x plus pi r. That is given as 20. From that we have to find out the maximum area of the window. Let r be the radius of the semicircle and x be the length of the rectangular part of or and a be the area of the window. Given that the perimeter is 20 feet, given perimeter of window is equal to 20 feet. Now let us write the perimeter. X plus 2r plus x plus pi r, that is 2x plus 2r plus pi r. That implies 2x plus 2r plus pi r is equal to 20. That implies 2x, take r common, pi plus 2 into x is equal to 20. So what is the value of x, r in terms of x? That implies pi plus 2 into r is equal to 20 minus 2x. That implies r is equal to 20 minus 2x by pi plus r. Or you can take 2 also common, 2 into 10 minus x by pi plus r. That is r in terms of x. Now we have to find out the area. A is equal to area of the rectangle plus area of the semicircle. Area of rectangle plus area of semicircle equal to area of rectangle is length into breadth. Length is x, breadth is 2r, x into 2r plus area of the semicircle. Circle area is pi r square, so it's half of that, pi r square by 2. But here it should be converted to single variable. So we have to change the value of r into the terms of x. So wherever there is r, you have to write 2 into 10 minus x by pi plus r. Pi plus 2, sorry, not pi plus r, pi plus 2. Now this is x, 2x into r. 2x into, that is a is equal to 2x into r value. What is r value? 2 into 10 minus x by pi plus 2 plus pi by 2 into r square. Pi by 2 into r square, or is this one, 2 into 10 minus x by pi plus 2 whole square, because it is r square. This is 4x into 10 minus x by pi plus 2. If you bring 2 outside, 4 pi by 2 into 10 minus x by pi plus 2 whole square. You can cancel this 2 also. Then pi plus 2 whole square is LCM, or else you can differentiate it separately also. Let us differentiate separately instead of taking LCM. This is a value. Find out dA by dx, because variable is x now. 4 by pi plus 2 is common, that is constant. This is 10x minus x square. 10x derivative is 10, x square derivative is 2x, 10 minus 2x plus 2 pi into, now its whole square is there. And one more thing, pi plus 2 whole square is also constant, 2 pi by pi plus 2 whole square into derivative of 10 minus x whole square, that is 2 into 10 minus x into derivative of 10 minus x is minus 1. So it is equal to 40 minus 8x by pi plus 2. This is one thing. This will become minus because there is minus 1 here. 4 pi into 10 minus x by pi plus 2 whole square. This is the first derivative. And if you take LCM, pi plus 2 whole square is LCM. Pi plus 2 into 40 minus 8x minus 4 pi into 10 minus x. Now what is the numerator? 40 pi plus 80 minus 8 pi x minus 16x minus 40 pi plus 4 pi x by pi plus 2 whole square. Here 45 is cancelled and 80 minus 8 pi x plus 4 pi x is minus 4 pi x. So that is 80 minus 4 pi x minus 16x by pi plus 2 whole square. Now this is the value of dA by dx. What is the second derivative? D square A by dx square equal to, this is constant, so you need can keep it like that, pi plus 2 whole square into 80 derivative is 0, minus 4 pi x derivative is minus 4 pi, and minus 16x derivative is minus 16. So this is negative, so less than 0. So only maximum value is possible for A. Therefore maximum value is possible for A at what value of x. So I have to find out x. For that we have to take dA by dx is equal to 0. dA by dx is equal to 0 implies, this is a fraction, numerator must be 0, implies 80 minus 4 pi x minus 16x must be 0. that implies 80 is equal to, take 4 common, pi x plus 4x. So you can cancel 4 1s are 20. So 20, you take x common, pi plus 4 into x is equal to 20. So x is equal to 20 by pi plus 4 centimeter or feet. Then what about that r? What is the value of r? R is equal to, we got it previously, 2 minus 10x, 10 minus x by pi plus 2, x into 2r. R is equal to 2 into 10 minus x by pi plus 2, that is 2 into here r value is not required, you have to find out the maximum area only, because already we got the value of x. So A is maximum, A is maximum when x is equal to 20 by pi plus 4 feet. Okay. Because second derivative is negative, we are saying that it is maximum. So what is that maximum area? This is the formula for this one, area in terms of x. So A is equal to, I will write it here, A is equal to this one, 4x in 4x by pi plus 2 into 10 minus x plus this one, 2 pi into 10 minus x by, this is pi plus 2 whole square, 10 minus x whole square, 2 pi by pi plus 2 whole square into 10 minus x whole square. Let us find out A maximum. Let us find out A maximum. In place of x, you have to write 20 by pi plus 4, so that you will get maximum area. So 4 by pi plus 2 into x, x is 20 by pi plus 4, 20 by pi plus 4 into 10 minus x, into 10 minus x, x is 20 by pi plus 4, plus 2 pi by pi plus 2 whole square into 10 minus x whole square, 10 minus 20 by pi plus 4 whole square. So that is equal to, here 80 by pi plus 4 into pi plus 2 into 10 pi plus 40 minus 20 by pi plus 4 plus 2 pi by pi plus 2 whole square into, this is 10 pi plus 40 minus 20 by pi plus 4 whole square. This is 10 pi plus 20, 80 into 10 pi plus 20 by pi plus 2 into pi plus 4 whole square plus 2 pi by pi plus 2 whole square. This is 10 pi plus 20 by pi plus 4 whole square. equal to now in the previous procedure I explained it by taking r in terms of x, but we are getting the long procedure. To avoid the long procedure I am taking now x in terms of r, so that the procedure may be simplified further. Now x be the length of the rectangle, same as in the previous one. A be the area. Window perimeter is given as 20 feet. What is the perimeter of the window? 2x plus 2r plus pi r. Pi r is the semicircle part, that is 20. So 2x plus r into pi plus 2. Pi plus 2 is equal to 20. So 2x is equal to 20 minus pi plus 2 into r. So this is x in terms of r. Now let us take the area of the rectangle. Rectangle plus semicircle. A is equal to rectangle plus semicircle. Rectangle area is length into breadth, that is x into 2r plus semicircle pi r square by 2. But we have to convert 2x into the terms of r. So that is 2 into x is there here. 2 into x is 20 minus pi plus 2 into r plus pi r square by 2. Now area is converted to the terms of r. In the previous case we converted r into the terms of x. Now this is equal to, A is equal to 20r minus pi plus 2 into r square plus pi r square by 2. Now find out the derivative with respect to r, that is 20 minus 2 into pi plus 2 into r plus 2 pi r by 2, cancel 2. So this is 20 minus 2 pi r minus 2r plus pi r. Plus pi r minus 2 pi r, that is minus pi r. 20 minus pi r minus 2r. So that is 20 minus pi plus 2 into r. What is the second derivative? D square a by dr square equal to 0 minus pi plus 2. R derivative is 1, that is negative. So a is maximum when dA by dr is equal to 0. For that, what is the value of r? That implies this is the value of dA by dr. 20 minus pi plus 2 into r is equal to 0. That implies r is equal to 20 by pi plus 2 feet. We have to find out the maximum area also. by pi plus 2. A maximum is equal to, this is the area, 20r minus pi plus 2 into r square plus pi r square by 2, that is equal to 20 into 20 by pi plus 2 minus pi plus 2 into r square 400 by pi plus 2 whole square plus pi by 2 into r square, that is 400 by pi plus 2 whole square. So this is 400 by pi plus 2 minus 400 pi, 400 into pi plus 2 by pi plus 2 whole square. Here you can cancel pi plus 2, so that you need not write this one. 400 by pi plus 2 plus 400 pi by 2 into pi plus 2 whole square.